All right, gang. Thanks for everyone for your patience. Welcome to another edition of Webinar Wednesday. Honestly, it's so fun to be with you guys here today. We're in the middle of the year and the middle of the month of June. So we're basically smack dab in the middle of 2023. And it's been a great productive year here at BD. And the community's been simply fantastic, seeing so many people working on their projects. And of course, the webinars are a great time for us to get together and we can share ideas and see how you're working on your websites. Lots of new names here, so welcome. Carly, I see you just logged in here. Mahir, good to see you as well. If this is your first time joining us, I am Jason there on the left, and we're lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist here at BD, and so much more. We got a great presentation, and guys, want to say thank you, David, for taking the time to join us today.
Absolutely. So glad to be back with everybody this week. Got a great presentation coming up, one that we teased a little bit earlier in the Facebook group. So I know a lot of you are looking forward to it. Should help improve a lot of your sites. So really looking forward to getting to that.
Awesome. Absolutely. Yeah, great tip of the week coming down the line in just a few moments. Angel, welcome to the webinar. We see you just got logged in here as well. We are streaming on YouTube, and if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, highly recommend subscribing. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube and just click on that red subscribe button there. You'll get updated every time we post the webinar replays up there, the tips of the week, any new tutorials, and a lot more. So we look forward to having you join us there. And one of the key benefits of streaming on YouTube Live is that the webinar replay will be immediately available after we finish today, and we will be posting it in the BD Facebook group. So you can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and click on the blue join button. All are welcome. I'm active in there myself. Lots of great and constructive conversations and discussions are started in there. It's also a great way to keep in touch in between Webinar Wednesdays. Lots of questions of people getting started. Some people are established. They're looking for strategies on how to grow their community. Some people are still in the setup phase of their websites and looking for some workarounds. So all questions are welcome there, and I definitely recommend you take a moment to join us there. And welcome to all the new names out there, Glenn and Dominic and Greg. Good to see you here. Just a little bit about Webinar Wednesday. BD is a pretty active and nimble company. We're pushing updates weekly. We've done so for many years now. And Webinar Wednesday is really a great way for us to share some of the updates that you can take actionable steps on to help grow your community a bit quicker. These could be topics such as how to increase your website traffic, converting visitors to members, identifying revenue opportunities, improving your navigation, and more. Actually, today's tip of the week will cover kind of converting visitors to members, identifying revenue opportunities, creating more calls to action on your homepage, and things of that nature. So if you're working on your site and have questions on these topics or anything on your membership site, please save them and stick with us. We're going to get to as many questions as we can in just a little bit. All right, and my favorite part of Webinar Wednesday, I'll try to breeze through this list. We have some new features recently released and some exciting ones coming soon down the line. I'll start here at the top with Webhooks. So if you have access to the developer tools in the admin area, you may be familiar with the Webhooks. Webhooks allow you to send data from your BD site out to other platforms. I'm not going to cover the full tutorial on that, but we do have a new webhook. When members add profile photos or profile logos to their profile, you can now send that image data out via webhooks. So maybe you want to use that profile photo somewhere else on another platform. This will allow you to do that. Let me show you where you can find that in the admin area. So let's start here. Let me start in the dashboard here. And from your main page, we can go to Developer Hub. And from there, we'll go to Webhooks. And I'm just going to do a search here for photo. I think that'll be the quickest way to find it. And here we have profile photos form submitted. So when they're adding photos to their profiles, that data can be sent out via a webhook. It's going to not just send the image file extension of the profile photo or logo. It'll include the member's name, their user ID on the website, their email address, and a few other key pieces of meta information so that you can map them on whatever third-party platform that you're using. All right, this next one is just a simple quality of life. Now you can easily copy the sign-up link of the membership plans, whether they're free or paid plans that you've created on your site. Now this is helpful if you're going to share a sign-up link in an email or you're going to use it in one of your landing pages that you're creating. Let me show you where that is. We can navigate on over to Finance and Membership Plans. And there was always a green button here. If you have a public sign-up page, the View Sign-up page is available here. You can click it and go there. But now, under the Actions drop-down, you can copy sign-up link here. So there's an option here. And if you didn't already know so, there's a clone button. So if you want to clone a membership plan and then just make some small changes in the newly cloned plan, you can also move members between plans. This would, if you're looking to delete a plan on your site and you want to move all your free members to an alternate free plan that you now have, you can move them and then delete the older plan. So some good actions here. Let me just copy this sign up link and we can see it's been copied to the clipboard. Also, in the vein of quality of life, there are now some screenshots visible in your form manager and in the edit post settings page of the admin area. This is just kind of helpful when you're looking at some of the elements in the admin to give you an idea of what you're working on. We recently added it to the web page builder. Let's take a look at that first. So in the web page builder, you can kind of see all your static pages, and it'll show you a screenshot of what those pages look like. And then, of course, you can visit them. So with this update, if we go to the toolbox and go to the form manager, we should just see a small preview of what that form looks like. Obviously, forms could be used on many different pages of your site, but you could just kind of gauge that here, what it looks like. And then for your posts, if you go to Edit Post Settings, and these would be like your events, blog articles, coupons, things of that nature. It will show you a preview of the search results page for that. Not all post types have them. For example, sub accounts don't have that, but the vast majority of them will. So we can see the discussions one here. And if we click here, it should take us directly to the search results page for the discussions post type. So just a little helpful guide there with the screenshot. Another quality of life here, and this was thanks to Ryan Sullivan in the previous webinar. We recently released new settings for the Easy Coupon Codes add-on, and part of that was being able to create coupon codes for digital products and the paper posts of your site. But it was a little cumbersome to search for some of those, and we've now added a keyword search filter. Let me show you where that would be. Under your finance section, we can go to coupon codes, and I'll go to new coupon code. And if we scroll down, what was new with the recent update is before you could only make coupon codes for signups and upgrades. And now you can do leads, digital products, and paper posts. And we can see here now there is a keyword filter. So I'll just type in classifieds. So if you're looking to create a coupon code just for one of these items, you can use that here, and it's for filtering within the tab that you're on. So this would be for digital products and paper posts. The rest of them just filter for membership plans, so there isn't much to edit there or filter for there. And last but not least, also a quality of life, making things easier for you guys in the admin area. If you are using the private member chat add-on, you can see the chats in the admin area. However, it would only show you the person who initiated the chat and not necessarily who the chat was between. And now there are actions buttons for each one as well. I can show you a screenshot of what that looks like. So now if you're in the admin area looking at your chat interactions, you'll see a preview of the chat on the right-hand side, and the module that gives you some information will have a little badge on who started the chat and who they are chatting with. So you'll see the two members here, and then there's a drop down here, and you'll be able to do things like log in as that member, send them an email, and other simple actions. But you'll see both parties listed here now. And even more exciting, some items coming soon. For your member leads, you'll soon be able to see the total revenue generated for each lead. So if you're selling leads to your members, this can be a quick snapshot of which leads are selling through and which are not. I have a screenshot of what that's going to look like as well. So on the member leads page, there will be a total revenue. So if you're selling one lead for $25 and allowing 4 members to purchase it, you're looking to see the total revenue of $100 there. That would be a full sellout of a single lead through the website. And that should be released soon. Newsletters, we've put a priority. It was on the back burner for a while, but a better UI and workflow for newsletters. Probably realistically, it's going to be a July release, but it's going to be a big release. It's a comprehensive overhaul of the newsletter scheduling section of the admin, as well as providing you with good statistics of who opened, who clicked the emails, and the ability to create smart lists from those segments as well. And also in the vein of smart lists, what we're going to release soon is you can create smart lists and sync them with webhooks, and the smart lists are dynamic. So members are moving in and out of the smart list, and with a webhook, you can send all those contacts to a third-party platform. Maybe you're updating a Mailchimp emailing list, and right now you have to manually sync the smart list using the webhook each time. What you're going to be able to do is, here we are on the smart list page. You can sync now, which is the only option right now. But because it's a dynamic list, maybe you want to update this daily, weekly, or monthly. You'll be able to choose one of these options, and your smart list will sync to the webhook, and that data will port to whatever third-party platform you're using. Your smart list will be dynamic on your BD site, and you can also dynamically update it in real time almost on other platforms as well. And also with smart lists on the transactions history page, you'll soon be able to export into a CSV file the results of your transaction history. You can do a filtered search, export the results, as well as create a smart list from those results. So if you wanted to search coupon codes and create a smart list of all the users who have paid using a coupon code, you can then create a smart list with that and then effectively send that group of people a newsletter. That's the main benefit of the smart list, is being able to send newsletters to those segmented groups of users. And then lastly here, another quality of life. On the home page, there are streaming sections that you can have. Currently, there are 5 spots for custom content. We're going to add 5 more default custom content slots for the home page. So you'll have a total of 10 available custom content spots on the home page. I think beyond that, we're gonna just stop it at 10 for that. If you need more than 10, we would encourage you to just create a custom widget with all your content. But I think 10 will be good for the vast majority of users. I can show you where that is. So if you're looking at the homepage streaming sections, here we can see that it's going to include up to 10 custom content spots. So hopefully that should be plenty, and excited to see all the different variations of homepage content people add to their sites. In addition to that, lots more speed and security updates to these new features were a lot of quality of life features, just making the admin a little more intuitive and easier to use. And again, big shout out to the BD community. A vast majority and large majority of these updates are from your suggestions, interacting with our support team. So a round of applause for you guys. We definitely appreciate all your support and backing behind making the BD platform better for everyone. And before we dive into the tip of the week, I know this was a little bit of a mouthful to hear, but if you have any questions or comments on this slide, on these specific updates coming soon or newly released, we'd love to hear just a comment or two, or if you have a question, and then we can move on to the tip of the week. See, James says, great updates. He typed that in. I think everything was pretty self-explanatory. We could move on to the tip of the week. And I'll pass it over to you, David. Today we're going to talk about including additional call to action, CTAs, to your homepage hero section.
Thanks, Jason. Yeah, so this was an update that we teased in the Facebook group about a month ago now. Basically, with this update, there's a couple new spots where you can add custom content of any kind. In the hero section, you'll probably want to add maybe a little piece of text, some extra information, or some additional calls to action. So that's what we'll be showing in this tip of the week. Go over the hero section a little bit, and then also show you some use cases and give you some custom code that you can just copy and paste, drop right into your own site to start adding some custom and additional calls to action to your hero section immediately. We did cover hero sections kind of more generally as a whole in a previous webinar. I think it was webinar 151, where we went over some design tips and best practices for hero sections. But before we dive into the use cases for this update, we wanted to briefly go over again and review what a hero section is and what the primary goal of a hero section is, what we kind of always want to keep in the back of our mind as we're crafting them. So the hero section, it's typically the most prominent section on a homepage. It's something that we really want to use to grab a new visitor's attention. And in it, we can communicate what the main purpose, the main message, the value proposition of our website is to the visitor. So you can see a great example here on the right of a great hero section on a homepage. It'll typically include a really large, full width, high quality image, sometimes some sort of embedded video, as well as a tagline, a title, maybe some subtitle text, but most importantly, some sort of call to action. So in this screenshot example, the call to action was a form submission for somebody to input their email address. This will just depend on what the goal of your website is. If we have a local business directory, we want people to immediately start searching and finding the businesses that they're looking for, our call to action might be just a simple search form. In other cases, it might be a button or two linking to other areas of the website. That'll really just depend on the main purpose of your website. But as a whole, the hero section is the most prominent section typically on a homepage. And we want to use a high quality image and use some taglines or text that'll really grab a visitor's attention, let them know what the website is for, and start getting them to click around and using the site immediately.
Yeah, and I'm a big advocate for keeping things simple, nice and tidy, and very clear without too much clutter. However, what we're going to show you in this tip of the week are some areas where you can maybe squeeze in something, spoiler alert, like a testimonial that can help enhance the hero section. But generally, we want to keep things nice and simple and clean. Another thing we want to do is spark an emotional connection. So as David mentioned, the high quality images, we want an image that portrays the mood of the brand and the experience that we're going to deliver to the user, as well as maybe images that represent or reflect who the persona of the visitor or user is on your website. That way, when people come to your website, they feel like they're in a place where they belong, and they're going to be encouraged to continue digging into some more of your internal pages.
Yeah, so the homepage hero section, as well as the call to action, they really should help brand new visitors understand the website's purpose, not just through the image itself, but really through the title, if we're going to have a subtitle, and the calls to action should be relevant. It should push new visitors to conduct some sort of action that we want them to take on the website. That's going to help with the overall purpose of the hero section and these calls to action, which would be to minimize bounce rate. We want to get visitors quickly clicking and exploring our website, going to additional pages throughout the site. We also want to present our brand as being high quality and credible. A simple, high quality image, typically maybe with a smiling face, that does wonders in terms of presenting our brand as being high quality. And even, again, just simple things can really make new visitors feel that our website is credible. In this example here, you can see the second button, Featured Tutors. It just has a little tiny icon of like a ribbon, a badge. So that could make new visitors think, okay, well, if they have featured tutors, maybe they have some sort of application process or vetting process that they go through to feature certain tutors. Just a simple thing like that could help add some credibility to our brand. But again, overall, we want to keep things simple and have a clear purpose with the hero section and the calls to action that we have within the hero section. We don't want to clutter it with too much information. We want to really stay on point, on focus with the hero section and the calls to action. And so by default in the design settings, there's a few elements that you can add to the hero section that's on your home page. You can add a background image. You can add some main title text, subtitle text if you want to add additional information to go along with the title. And then you can choose your primary search box or other call to action that you want to use. The other call to action might be, a couple buttons linking to other pages on the website if you don't want to have a search box. So this is what you can do by default within the design settings for the homepage hero section. And with the new update, we've added 2 new widgets, which you can edit, basically one above that search box or call to action and one below. And so you can drop any custom code you want in there to really expand the usefulness of the hero section. So here we have some popular use cases. We'll show you what these look like in practice. We'll also give you the code so you can edit that code and drop it right into your own site to start using it. But some popular use cases would be some additional supportive text, really simple, just to go along with the main title or the subtitle text that you already have in the design settings. You can also add a tag cloud of popular searches. So if somebody's really maybe isn't sure exactly what they want to search for, you can give them some suggestions that they can click on and immediately view search results. You can also add additional calls to action. So in this example, we have a button going along with the search module saying, not a member, join now for full access. And that button can link visitors to a registration page or the join page. You can also add some custom images or a banner ad into the hero section through this method, as well as a testimonial. The testimonial, I think, is a great use case, and excited to show you that one and provide you with the code there as well.
And just a little background, what we're going to show you today does require just a little bit of simple coding. Before we dive into kind of how to add some of these popular use case examples that we've shared, we're first going to show you some things you can do quickly, like in the previous examples David just shared, and then we'll show you how you can add one or all of these popular use cases that we've mentioned here. You probably don't want to use all of them because it would go it would clutter too much, as we've suggested, but maybe you want to use 1 or 2, or depending how you're elegantly displaying them on the site, you could use more of these use cases all together. So let's take a look at the sample site we have here, and we'll just go to the home page. So let me show you some things we can do without the quote-unquote small bit of coding that we mentioned here. So let's go to the design settings together. Let's kind of reset ourselves for a moment, and we can see what we can do without just by pointing and clicking on the site. So if we go to design settings, and from here we'll go to home page, and let's start here at the search box / call to action. So what we have here right now is custom content. We can see that there is a custom content option here. This is also where, if we wanted to, instead having custom content, having like a keyword search or keyword and location search. But we've opted for the custom content, and with that it's exactly that. We choose all the custom content we want here, and it uses the text editor, which is pretty simple, point and click. We can add images, videos, even the pre-made elements. Let's just add another one just for fun. Let me just toggle this, and we'll just do this one here. Great. And I know this is going to be on the home page. I'm just going to want all the font to be white in this example. Let me just quickly save the changes. And if we come back here to the home page, we can see here we've now added some content. We have some text, a button link, an image. This image could very well just be a video introducing people to the site. And we can add more buttons here if we want them to sign up or search the site or whatever it might be. After this, if we're not going to use custom content, we can also use, earlier we created display button links, just a simple way to display button links, up to 3 buttons. You can have 1, 2, or 3. It'll center the buttons just the same. And we called it button 1, button 2, button 3. We'll just call this webinar demo so we can see this in action. And we'll refresh this. All this custom content should be gone. So now we have button 1, button 2, and we can see the webinar here. And these can link to registration pages, your search pages, your events, whatever it may be that's important. But as David mentioned, with the hero section, the goal is to reduce the bounce rate. We want people to come to our site, understand it, and quickly click in and begin their journey. So when you're thinking of your website and looking at your homepage, ask yourself, what journey am I creating or initiating for the visitor? What pathways am I presenting to them? And again, we don't want too much clutter, but maybe an option or two will help guide them to more internal pages of your website, because now you've got their attention. And that's the hardest part of any website, whether it's the home page or a landing page, is keeping people there, getting them to scroll, absorb more information on whatever content you're presenting to them. And then lastly, if we go here and we can do the keyword and location search to search for members, and we'll hit the refresh button. And we can see here, we now have kind of the typical search that a default Brilliant Directory site begins with. Of course, it's meant to enhance a bit further. And let's take it another step further. Instead of centering things in this example, we're going to left align everything. So let's save the changes, and then we'll show you how we're going to add some of these custom content CTAs. And again, this was kind of designed for web designers, because prior to this update, they'd have to go into some complicated widgets, but now there's some clean widgets that they can edit and drop in their little snippets of code. So we're going to just provide you with a few examples of that. So we see here just again a little bit about the home page. I aligned everything left, but the title is going a little bit further than I personally want it to. You can adjust that here in the hero title text. We'll set this to 60%, and that will only allow the title to move 60% into the page. So it's nice and tidy now. And these are widgets that we're going to edit. Let me go to visit website. So if you're looking on how to find these widgets, you can click on the orange visit website button, and you'll have the admin bar here in the sidebar. And of course, with this, we can click on show widgets, and it'll kind of show us all the modular components that make up the page. And so what's new here is we have these two widgets here: Bootstrap theme homepage search, extra content above, and Bootstrap's theme homepage search, extra content below. And we've created this little Google Doc here that we kind of did this a little quickly before the webinar, but it's going to show you our examples and the widgets to edit. And I've actually gone ahead and I did customize these widgets already. I've just disabled them, but you would just click here and then customize the widgets. Let's go to the widget manager together. We've kind of done everything we've wanted to do in the design settings, and go to the widget manager here and see some of the custom modules I've created for the home page. So I have these two customized, but I have them disabled. Let me re-enable them. And this is going to be the whole enchilada. We've added pretty much everything here once I enable these, but we can pull them back one by one and see what we've done exactly. Great. So we have our main title, and we've added 5 components here. We've added a snippet of paragraph text. That's one that we can choose to have. We've also added a button, want to list your company, join today. Again, this could be a button for anything. We've also, and this might be more popular for people wanting to do this, is the popular searches. And then you can choose just some popular maybe categories that people search on your site. This works really well if you're already regionally specific. Because if you're already like a Los Angeles business directory, then searching for doctors makes sense because you're already within the Los Angeles area. Or if you're within a specific industry or niche, we'll say immigration law, and then maybe visas is a category, so you can just quickly link to that, and we'll show you how we did that. Another thing really goes a long way, especially if you're looking to build trust with visitors or show social proof that your website is trustworthy and credible, is showing just a very small or simple testimonial or blurb. Maybe your site has received 5 stars on a review site and you'd like to showcase that. You can put the stars here as an image or what have you. And then lastly, and it doesn't have to be from a big company, it can even be selling ad space to members on your own website and creating some premium areas here where people can pay to have a sponsored banner ad. And again, maybe it could just be embedded Google ad code or ad code from another service, or it can be little images that you create and you can sell those spots to your members, or you can self-promote some things that are happening in your own company. So a banner on spot for basically any purpose is available here. So let's start with the above. I guess we called this one the extra content above section. And I'll just use our little Google Doc here as a guide. So we've added 2 sections here at the extra content above. The first one here is the snippet of just text. And the second one is the button here, the blue button that we've added, want to list your company today. So if we come here to the widgets to edit in the doc, we can see here, Dave, thanks for putting this together. So this is the additional supportive text. It's basically a paragraph of text that you can add below the title. Maybe you're not using the title, but here it is here. And if you just copy and paste this into the said widget here, the Bootstrap theme homepage search, extra content above, you will then effectively have a paragraph of text here. You can just replace this here, the black text here that we have in the Google Doc. Anything more I need to say about that, David?
I think that's it. If you are familiar with HTML or CSS, you can certainly edit this further. But if you just wanted to use it as is and edit just the text itself, yeah, you would just edit that black text, copy it, and paste it into the widget.
That's right. And yeah, if you're familiar with a little bit of HTML coding, you could enhance this a bit more. So the next one is the button here, and we're suggesting to use it as a member sign up or a list your company, or maybe you're a members only website and they're on the home page and they really need to create an account for access to your premium content. We just see some people logging in here. That's great. But in this one, we kind of put some markers here, the button link URL. So basically what you want to replace is the href. Right now it's going to the /join page of the website. So just do / whatever you want this button to link to. You could link directly to a checkout page. So if you just want quick registrations from people, you can probably just go to the finance section. It's a great way to intermingle this. And the general user account, we can just copy the sign up link and we can utilize that. I'll revert this, but we can just paste that in there in the href equals, and in between the quotes is where we want to put our link. So you can put whatever link you want there. And then the text of the button, we put some comment markers here. This is the button link text. Just replace this with whatever you want the button to say. And you can have a button directly above your search. Again, let's say, even if you were going to add just one, I think this would be great because it's going to encourage a user registration and user sign up. And it's elegant, it's not too busy, and it's telling people that you're inviting them to sign up to your site. So these two, I think, are the 2 simplest ones, just a paragraph of text and a button. And I think the next one we'll look at, we'll scroll down here. I think this one is also pretty good, is the popular searches one. This one probably has the most moving parts, but is not too complicated with the HTML. So let's take a look at that one. Let me open this up here. Let's go to the widget manager, and then we'll look at the Google Doc together. So this was the extra content below. And of course, you can choose what you want above or below. This is a mix and match. So here, I'm just going to put some line breaks here so we can look at this one. This is the popular searches one. So we've commented it with the title text, so popular searches. Maybe you want to call it top searches. Maybe you need to translate it into your language, or you might want to call it quick search, whatever makes sense for you. And then we have the links. So let me go to the Google Doc now so we can see that together if we scroll down. So this is the tag cloud of popular searches. So we have the title text here. This is popular searches. Again, you can change it. Then we have the links. Now, maybe you want to limit this to, 3 to 6 links depending on how much space you want it to take up. But you can, each one of these lines is a link. And again, the href equals, that is a link to that search results page. So let's see how we can find a search results page for one of our categories together. Well, a few things you can do. If you want to do a search, you can do a keyword search for doctor and just go to the search page. Many of us have the browse categories in the footer by default if you haven't removed that. But we can see here like auto services, we can just click on view all. And now we have the link for auto services. It's / auto services, and that's the auto services category of this website. So let's actually do that together. Let's edit the first one here. We'll keep the view all, but instead of doctors, we'll do auto services. So this is kind of the visible text over here, and then where we want it to link to goes inside of the href here. Href equals and in between them. So auto services and auto services. Let's save the changes. And let's go back to the home page. So now we can see auto services here. And if I click that, if you look at my bottom left there, we can see that it says auto services. And it takes us to the auto services page. So not terribly complicated, but we do need to get the link to the category. And if you don't have that link in your footer, let me show you another place where you can copy the link for the category. If we go to My Members and Member Categories, we can see here, these are the categories. It could be sub-level categories, top-level categories, but we do have the link URL here. I see this is probably a place where we'll put a copy button as well. But let's look at restaurants. If I click open here, we can see that the URL is / restaurants. So let's actually add that as well for the next one. And we're going to replace lawyers in this example with restaurants. And let me just show you, let me type in top restaurant. So this is the public text that's going to show for the button, and the href is the restaurants. I'm a little worried about sharing HTML code because I know many of us are just beginners and novices, but we're just showing you the kind of the easiest way to do this without tripping over our own actions here. So if we scroll down a bit now, and we can see here in this example, it's gone to the next line. So we might want to shorten it. I put top restaurants here, and if I click that, it's taking me to the restaurants page. So let's just switch this back to restaurants. Now, what's cool about doing this, and again, back to the objectives of the hero section of a home page, is we want people to quickly come to the site and do an action, conduct a search, read what's on the page. And these quick search links, I think, are a great way to get people to just click them, because some people are just curious. They just see a link. It's, it says restaurants. Even David's example, the featured tutors, just that slide made me want to click on it and see why are these tutors featured. It just adds a little bit of intrigue to the homepage, as well as it lets me know the website knows what they're doing. They've organized content for me to find things easily. So there's also a convenience factor that you're providing to the user. I'm just going to make this a little high level here for those higher level users out there. These are in bootstrap columns. In this case, it's 6. So if we increase this to 10, it goes up to 12. We should have more space here for the quick search. Just to show you an example here, we can see that extends out a bit further by changing the col.md in the code here between 1 and 12. In our case, we had 6 and just increased it to 10.
And one other good use case for this one would be, if someone has a national or even a statewide directory and you want to show search results or link users to search results for specific areas, you could pick out, the top metro areas that you want to target and link to those as well here instead of categories or specific keywords.
Absolutely. Let's do Los Angeles as an example. Just as a quick example. So to get the link for that, you can do a search for Los Angeles, and technically everything after the first / is how you get to this page. So I could copy all this code here and put that as my href code. Another thing you can do, again, a little higher level, if you do a Control-U, web pages do have pretty URLs for Google. So this was a search for Los Angeles. So BD sites are really souped up for SEO. The canonical link here is what it's called, is Los Angeles. So we have that here as well, canonical URL. And that's kind of the pretty user-facing one. But if you notice, if you go to Amazon and you conduct a search, that URL looks crazy because it's doing a bunch of dynamic searches. That's usually the case when you're using forms on a site, but they all come back to a canonical URL. So in this case, we can do / Los Angeles. Oops, yeah, we can do that. And again, we don't need the full URL. We could use it. That's called the absolute URL. We just need the first /, and we'll put Los Angeles here, and we'll save the changes. And if we come back to the home page, we can see Los Angeles is here, and we'll click on that, and we're back to the Los Angeles results here. So already making it easy to use this website. Anything else we should cover there, David, with the quick searches?
I think that covers it. Really direct users to any specific search results pages or other pages that you kind of want to hyper focus on.
You've given me another great idea here. So perhaps your main search is for searching members or business listings on the site, business services on the site, but maybe the quick search is other parts of your site. Let me just show you. So what we can do are the different post types. So we can do events, coupons. And again, I'm just using examples that are kind of in line with the local business directory. If you're already serving a specific region like Los Angeles, then having a link to the events would make sense, because we're already in Los Angeles, and we're just going to see Los Angeles events. So we would link to that post type's URL. So yeah, it can be more categories, it could be specific locations, it could be to post types, or it could be a combination of all those. All right, let's move down here to the blurb here. So in this case, we did upload an image to the media manager, and we just put some simple text here. I love this solution. We use it every day. It could be a testimonial of a member. It could be a testimonial of an advertiser. It could be a badge that you've received from, or an accolade from some kind of industry-specific organization. And you can put your star rating there. So just some kind of a social proof, so that when people arrive to your website, they can see that others are benefiting from your service. You know, especially if you just launched your website and you're a brand new entity. We did do a webinar on this, how to immediately establish credibility for your site. These are some simple things you can do on your homepage that can kind of earn the trust of visitors who may be finding you for the first time. So let's take a look at the Google Doc here. Dave, thanks for putting this together. Super helpful. Testimonial blurb, here it is. So in this case, there are basically two components: the testimonial image, and over here we have the src equals, and then in between the quotes is the full file name of the image. So if you're uploading an image to your media manager, let me show you how you can get that URL. Let's do that together. Let's go to the media manager. Let's use this image here of this star rating. It's a circle image. Again, you could upload the image of somebody's face or a badge or what have you. But when you're here in the media manager, just right click on the image and the copy URL. And now we can see the URL of the image. I'm going to copy this. And let's go back to that widget we have here with the testimonial. Here it is. And I'm going to replace this. So what we want to do is paste the image in between the quotation marks. And that will be our new image here. Let's take a look at the home page. There we go. So now it's the picture of the star. So when you add something to your media manager, if you ever kind of want to get that full URL of the image, and because you're going to use it in different places like I just showed, you add it to the media manager, right click, and you can just paste it. And of course, you don't need the full URL if you're using it on your own website. You can just take it from the first /. So in this example, we could have done just /images and the verified member PNG. And then the second part is the testimonial text. In this case, we said, I love this solution. Let's go back to the doc here. We've added it here. And then the person's name is in a small tag. It just makes it a little smaller for styling. We did a hyphen and their name. You can remove this if you want, if you don't want to show somebody's name, or you can actually get a testimonial of somebody and you'll have a small blurb here. David and I were chatting. We thought actually, just depending on how many you're using on your site, maybe the blue sign up button or whatever color you're going to use for the sign up, and the testimonial can go above or below each other, so they're next to each other. So you're reading a testimonial, and then that's kind of a motivation to want to join the site as well. So you might want to put the join and the testimonial in closer proximity to each other, just as an option there. Some things to think about when you're choosing which one of these to add to your homepage.
And another actual example going along with this, it would require modifying the code a little bit, but if you get a little creative, we've shown avo.com in some previous webinars, a lawyer directory, avvo.com. But if you want to kind of either feature specific members in your hero section or even sell the hero section as kind of featured ad space, you could use a photo of one of your members as the main hero image, and then you can add some additional information as text into the hero section. Here, Avo has their name, number of reviews, phone number, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do kind of like a takeover of the homepage in a way. Again, mixing and matching the background image to match the testimonial text or sponsorship text on the homepage. Great way to sell ad space on your site. And even in this example, if they gave this away to Aaron Langstein for free for whatever reason, if I was a lawyer on this website, I would be emailing in asking how I can get my face on there on the homepage. So it's a great way to, you can always give the first one out complimentary to someone, and that should create some excitement from other members who might want to be represented on your homepage as well. And yeah, that just goes back to the last one here is, this is basically, this is just an image here. We just Googled sample banner ad image, but this could be an image you create. It could showcase a service you're offering. So it can be an internal banner ad that promotes one of your own services. It could be an affiliate link to something else. Really, it's customer's choice here what you want to put. But let me show you where we did add that in the code. If we scroll down here, it's probably one of the simpler ones. Let me just refresh this for a moment. And I'll just add some spaces so it's really easy to see. I'll reference the Google Doc, but in this case, it's just a banner ad URL. You don't have to make it a link, but in this case, we're linking it to the join page when you click on it, and then the image SRC. So we've added just a banner that we uploaded to the media manager here. We just showed you how to grab that image, and let's reference it in the Google Doc. It'll be up here. So same thing here. So here we have the banner ad and the banner URL, and then the banner image itself. So everything in between that SRC here. And that's basically it in a nutshell. We can get deeper. I think there was one bonus thing we wanted to share. If you're a hire, we created these because it was hard to slip in content for web designers. They were having to edit the more complicated homepage widget that included all the homepage code in it. So now they can just customize some empty widgets and put these little snippets of code in there. Just one more thing, and this would definitely require a designer's touch, is what we've seen some other people do in addition to these simpler things. I'm going to use an example. Corey Barnes from our previous webinars, he's done some good customizations on his homepage. But with this update, it will be less cumbersome and a bit simpler to kind of have tabbed homepage. So you can have the tab content above, and depending on what you're clicking on, it kind of changes what's here. And we can see they're also using some quick links here right under the search module. So just something else that a little higher level web designers can consider. This should make it a bit easier for them. And anything else we should cover before we start taking some questions, David?
I think that covers it. You know, these are some great overall general use cases that could be used here by just copying the code that we've provided and editing the text that's displayed and any links in there. But yeah, if you're a designer or you've got some experience with HTML or CSS, you could really go crazy and put whatever you want in these custom widgets now.
That's right, and we showed before getting into this some of the simpler ways, the point and click settings, as I like to call them, of how to add custom content to the homepage by using the available text editor. So again, this is just a little bit more intermediate level for those people that want to sneak in some additional things in between the title and the search box or below the search box there. So I guess with that, we can move on to the questions section. Dave, thanks so much for putting that together and those examples. I know a lot of people are going to appreciate that. I got Jim here. How you doing, Jim?
Hey there. Really quick question, actually.
Please.
In those new sections that we can create, I'm assuming that you're not restricting us and we can put a small snippet of JavaScript in there. Which what I want to do is to do a call out to another server to grab, basically it'd be a rotating banner type thing. So I can display rotating banners in there instead of just a single banner.
You can absolutely do that. If you're coding it, you might want to add a delay on that so it doesn't, because you'll be doing an external request to another service, but adding a timeout or a delay on that, that way the rest of your homepage doesn't slow down its load time.
Oh yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay. But yeah, you can certainly do that. Yeah, you're welcome. Good question there from Jim. Yeah, you guys can embed any type of JavaScript that you need, pretty much anywhere anywhere you can render a widget.
That brings up another good point, not really having to do with JavaScript, but if people who aren't familiar with HTML, CSS, JavaScript want to add custom content to either of those homepage hero section widgets, other than the examples that we showed, they could just use the web page builder, the visual editor, build something there, copy that code, and drop it into the widgets.
That's actually a great suggestion as well. Let me show you guys what David's referring to there. So if we go to our web page builder, and we'll just create a new page. We don't need to save it, but we can grab a content block. Maybe it's this one here. So now we have kind of 4 things here, and we went to code view. We could copy all this and paste this into the custom widget. So we would just copy all this and then come back to our widget here and paste it in here as the example. Let's actually do that together. We'll paste it in right here and see what that looks like. I don't think it's going to look pretty because we just did it blindly, but let's hit save changes. Yeah, we could see here. So now we have kind of those 4 things. So we can use the web page builder to kind of manipulate our code visually or what we want to render visually, and then paste the code view of that into the widget if we're not comfortable with what's provided here in the Google Doc. All right, let's switch gears here. Thanks for that suggestion. Got a few hands up. We got Nadia. Nadia, I'll unmute your microphone.
Maybe you can hear me now.
Yeah, perfectly. Where are you calling in from?
Hi there. I'm in New York.
Okay, great.
Suburbs of New York, about 30 minutes away from New York City. I have had BD for a very long time, but lately I've been going full force with it because I want to get it going. But a couple of questions that I don't know whether or not it's been asked before, so bear with me. Is there a way with the way the homepage looks at the moment that when someone tries to do a search, that it could be directed first to a sign-on page for not paid members, but regular members, so that you can utilize leads a little bit better? I don't know if there's a widget or something already involved with BG that would allow something like that. Am I making sense?
Yes. So a brand new person comes to your homepage and you have the search form there, the search module.
Yes.
So they type in, say, doctors as an example, just
yes.
And then they hit the search button. And
if they're not signed in already, or they don't have an account already.
If they don't have an account, then prompt them to create an account to continue searching.
Yeah.
So there
I noticed that once you do that, I right now have it. I don't have all the members in. Sure. But right now it directs you to a page and kind of populates it, I think, from Google. And they do have the ability to sign or log in or sign up at the upper right corner, I believe.
Sure.
But I was thinking something more within the body of the page.
So I can show you a couple things you can do. So with the members only add-on, you can go to Edit Post Settings, and you'll find the member listings one, the post type. And when you have the add-on, you could protect the search results pages. And with that, there's a few things that happen. So let's just go ahead and do that together. I may be able to get you, 50% there, or a good percentage there together. So let's do it together. And I'm not logged in. We can see it's asking me to sign up. Let's just hit the search now button. It's going to be a message, not a form. However, it says this content is for members only. Click to log in or become a member. So it's like the most basic thing you can show. But let me take it a step further for you, because they might be a member, they're just not logged in at the moment. So what we can do is click to log in or become a member is here. But what we can do even better is go to the general settings. And what I would recommend doing is enabling the express member registration. And what this does is, and we'll call it, so it's going to allow people to, without going to like another sign up page, is on the same page, register as like your most basic type of user, like a general user. So they have a login with an email, or just something that can help them register an email quickly so they can continue leaving a comment or favoriting a member or accessing a basic members only page. So let's do general user account, and then you could do start with the express registration tab selected. I'll just go ahead and save that real quick. And what that's going to do is anywhere your login form renders, so we can render if we wanted to, these are all text labels, so we could edit the text label and render like a widget or a form here or what have you. But if we do click to log in now, actually, it's toggled with the create register as a new account here, or I can log in. So basically the express member registration will allow me to register. Let's do test.com. Okay, and create my profile. And what this should do, it should keep me, there's a set advanced setting. I'll see if it's enabled on this site, but it should keep me on this same page. Let me see if it does. This actually logged me. There's an advanced setting, so it'll allow me to proceed into that same page that I was just. So let me find that advanced settings, because that would be a good final step for this as well. Search for Express. This one was enabled. I have to see why it wasn't, but it reload the same web page after Express member registration. So I'll see why it didn't. But basically, they come to a paywall or a members only wall, and you can quickly get more people to register that way. What I like to do is I like to maybe show them the search results page, which has some information on it, but protect the detail page that has all the members' information on it, or a post's information on it. Like
that's probably what I was trying to relay unsuccessfully, but yes.
Gotcha. So in that case, let me show let me take it a step back. So we don't necessarily want to protect the search results pages. So let me show you what we want to protect. So we'll go back to member listings. And we're not going to do that. And instead, so now any user can get to the search results page. They'll see some stuff. They'll see names and what have you. But if we go to the membership plans, and okay, we have 9 members in membership plan 1. So you edit the membership plans, and you can choose which ones are protected. So if we go to, I think it's search visibility, and when you have the members only add-on, you can choose if their profile page, so you can protect all their information here. So I'll just save that. So they might, a visitor might see them in the search results, but when they get to, and let's log out here, and let's go back to a search, and then we can gives them a limited view of the results. But so I see exactly. So I see the results here. But it's saying this content is for members only, or I see the send a message button, but when I click it, it says this content is for members only. And again, you can modify this message. This is the most basic type of message, but that's probably another way to do it.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take that much time, but the other hopefully very quick question is that once they get into that search page, as is right now, I imported a ridiculous amount of categories, I think, and it's like a never-ending scroll on the page. Is there a way to kind of like, I don't know what it's called, accordion file it or something so that it doesn't do an endless scroll to the bottom of the page?
Can I see your site real quick? Is it possible?
Yeah, it's, I typed it in, but it's bluehoop.com.
Okay, I see here. Bluehoop.com, cool name.
Thanks.
Yeah, let's just click the search button here.
Do you see that? The filter by category section. So it's extensive, I feel like.
Yes, let me help you out here.
Okay.
We can actually, well, I guess it's subjective what people might want to do, but let me just help you out here. All right, so what it's going to do is it's going to have a max height of 300 pixels. I think 400 would be fine. And let me add this for you, and that should be a little bit more manageable.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, when using that, it's good to, when you have a lot, you have a lot.
Yeah.
but that's why I guess if you're going to do dynamic, you might want to switch to just the regular search filter where people search one category at a time. But if that's what you want, that's fine as well. But let me add this in here. So what I'm going to do is
there a way to easily do that instead of having to delete everything and redo it?
Yeah, you could just you can just change the search module here on the sidebar. Let me just I'd like to show you because I think it's also important to show other people as well, but let me just show you where you would do that because you might think you're stuck with that. So this is the members search results sidebar. So it's either going to be in one of two places. Under edit post settings, we'll go back to the listings again, and so edit post settings, listings, search results design, and then additional settings. And let's see what you have here for these search module to use. So you're actually not using these here. So
I didn't put it in yet. Yes. So I added it in, I imported it, but I didn't apply any settings yet.
That's fine. So you have it directly in the sidebar. So if we go to the sidebar manager, otherwise you would choose the search module you want here. But I think you have it here, member search results, and you have the dynamic category filter. But if we search for, and it's the sub and sub-sub. So if we search for sub, here we go. So you're doing, do you want the location search as well or just categories?
The location search would be good because it's just for within a county.
So I'm gonna remove the dynamic category filtering. Let's remove the dynamic. We can add that back. Okay. And then you do have another search module here. So it might be search module. It might be redundant to have two there.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And we can then save that. There we go. And let's refresh this. So what's nice about this is find Rockland Business Directories. Now you could do specializing in, and it's nicely organized here. And if there's a there's a subcategory where we can see, for example, attorney lawyers have a subcategory. So if someone did type in attorney, whoops, I guess, let's see here, food products. I guess that was, let's see, some of these don't have subcategories. There we go. Restaurants has subcategories. Yeah. So it does have it available. So then Ethiopian. This might be a little nicer because you have so many categories. The dynamic category filter probably works well with maybe 10 to 20 categories. Otherwise, it's just hard for people to read what they're filtering out.
Okay. And does this affect the way the home page looks at all?
No, this is just the sidebar on the
sidebar. Okay.
Yeah. I'd recommend this one to stick with this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. Sure. All right. I see a lot of hands came up here. Sorry, guys. That took a little longer, but I think it was helpful to review. I got Karen. I got you, Karen. Let me unmute you.
Hello, how are you?
Good, Karen. How are you?
This is referring back to something you touched on before with the previous chat, where it was restricting the posts, like members' posts, and where it prompts the user to create an account or log in to view the content. How do you customize what that you said you can customize that wording? The click here to log in or whatever. Where do you find that to customize that message that they get?
Absolutely. Let's do that together on our sample demo site here. Just a moment.
Great, thank you.
Do a quick example of that. I think that would also be a good value for everyone. Let me just get my bearings and head back to our little demo site here. Okay, great. So let's protect some section of this site first. I'll just do the member search results page very quickly here, and then we can view it together. So let's protect that and save it and close these windows. Okay, great. So let's head on over to the Search Now page.
And I assume that it would be this message here that pops up. Would that be the same regardless of whether you were protecting search results or at member level, that you're protecting the post content?
Correct. So
for that member, yeah, great.
Yes. So keep in mind that it'll be a generic protected page message for the website. So keep that in mind. So it's more universal. So there's a couple things we can do. The first thing we can do is we can just change the text, and I'm going to show you what we can do just doing that, and then I'll show you how we can edit the widget real quick. So we'll do show text labels here.
Okay.
And we can see kind of this sentence is made up of a few different text labels. Everywhere it breaks orange, yellow is its own text label.
Okay.
And we have this little pop-up down here, which is helpful. So we can search for things. This content is for, and then it says members only. So this, this content is for. So if I wanted just like a long, you can change it. Now let's say you don't want the break because you want to put something longer. We could just delete this part here. We can save that and just give it a second to reload. So now it says members only, right? Let's get rid of the text labels just as an example. So it just says it doesn't say this content is for. It's a little more concise here. But let's say now we can just put a longer singular message here. And let me take it a step further for you as well. Let me show you the extent of what you can add here, actually. Let's go to YouTube real quick. And we can all see what Jason is watching on YouTube. Let's see what comes up. And let's grab some embed code here. We'll take the, here we go, Calm Night Jazz. And we're going to copy the embed code. And you can see where we're going with this already. And we'll just copy that. And the reason I want to show this is the text labels don't, oops, I got rid of it. The text labels don't only just support text. You can actually put a widget inside of there or render a form. So if you wanted a form there, I think the previous Nadia wanted a, or I forgot who it was, but wanted a form there. So if we search for members only, let's have it find that. There we go. So we can do, we'll just delete this and put a video.
Wow, that's amazing.
Let's cross our fingers here and see what happens. And there we have the video here. So I'll just leave it at that for now. But here you can
that's
see.
Great.
You're right. We can have a video. It can be it doesn't have to be a YouTube video. Some people don't like that because it has like links to other videos at the end. But it can be a Vimeo. And again, you can render a form here or whatever you want.
Wow, that's good. Excellent.
Okay. So I hope that kind of gave you some ideas on the direction you can go with that.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good questions. Thank you, Karen. All right. Let's scroll back down here. All right, Vincent, I got you unmuted here. How you doing?
Hey, long time no see.
Yeah, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, I'm ready to get back in the saddle with. I've got a well, I've been using the sites, but now I'm getting a lot more serious about trying to do things with them. I've got a client that wants the form fill, like when they fill out the form, they want it to go through like a webhook or something to their CRM. And I saw how you were talking about the webhook earlier.
Yeah, I have a demo that I can share with you that we did in a previous webinar tip of the week. I'll share that link with you.
Okay, great.
The same concept should apply for any form and any platform you're sending the webhook the data to via the webhook. I think we did it with a Mailchimp.
Are you using Mailchimp, or what was the other one that you mentioned? Zapier.
Right. So we use Zapier as the conduit, as the way to capture the webhook and then send it to any platform we desire. There's other solutions like Pabbly as well. Some solutions can accept webhooks on their own, but these tools make it incredibly simple. So I think it was, sync your brilliant directories data with Mailchimp. Let me just check here. Yeah, let's send BD data to Mailchimp, adding a webhook and all that good stuff. So let me share this link. And if you have if this video doesn't cover everything that you need help with, you can ask in the Facebook group, Vincent, or the support team as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and then also I want that Zapier one too. I'll oh, there it is right there, Zapier API. The other thing is, I want real quick your thoughts on the ChatGPT thing. I use it all the time, but I take the code and I put it into Note, and then I clear out any code behind it, and then I don't use the content exactly as I don't take all the I kind of add my own content to theirs. But it's been a lot of stuff where Google is kind of upset with this and calling it spam. Do you think that having the API on our site is a problem?
I don't. I think the best practices, I think the content that ChatGPT prints should be a starting point or a way to kind of figure out ideas or fill in the gaps of an idea that you've already started. So if you've written an
That's
article,
what I'm doing right now. And that's exactly right. But what do you think? So here, like when I get the code, I take it completely out of ChatGPT and I put it into a thing that clears all the code out of the background. Do you think that when you're using the API and it goes straight into your Brilliant Directory site, do you think, is there any code in there from?
Oh, good question. No, it's plain text, so there's no code.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why you have to. That's why when it comes in, it breaks it all up. I was wondering about that.
The only thing that it adds are the line breaks, but there's no other code embedded inside of the plain text that you're seeing, to answer your question.
Okay, that's exactly. I didn't know if I had to take it out and then put it back in.
No, you can continue editing it and modifying it after it's printed its text for you, right there in the editor.
Great, lots of exciting things to get caught up on here.
Absolutely. Yeah, glad to hear you're using that one. It was a big update that we were happy to release. All right. Well, thanks, Vincent. Good stuff there.
Thank you.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for another amazing webinar. I didn't even realize we went over time. That's perfectly fine. If we didn't get to your questions, please feel free to ask them in the Facebook group. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. And the next webinar will be in 2 weeks. We'll post the replay in the Facebook group in just about 20 minutes or so. And yeah, on behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, it's been a pleasure being with you guys here today. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day and a brilliant week. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.